Hello, I am your host, Neil Ray Bradley. Welcome back to the Nobody Asked podcast, the podcast where I talk about things that nobody asked me to. And today, I'm talking about the so popular social media. Now, you're probably thinking, yeah, that's a pretty broad topic you're covering. No, let me get a little more specific for you. I'm covering Twitter. Yes, today I'm going to talk, more so rant, about Twitter because I am tired of it. I had to take a break. Me and Twitter have a interesting relationship, and I'm not going to get into the whole story about that because, we can save that for another day. But what I am going to say is it was just too much negativity. It really was. It really was. You see, when people get behind a keyboard, as we all are pretty sure, I hope that made okay. When people get behind a keyboard, they feel invincible. They feel that anything they can say without any consequences because, well, there's no one to confront them face to face. Now, I'm not a big fan of conflict, so I avoid talking about anything a little too, controversial, I guess you could say, on the internet, especially Twitter, because people on Twitter be crazy. They just be talking outside their necks, out the necks. And yeah, like sometimes people make good points, of course, but sometimes it's really just too much. Now, I personally, my Twitter account is a K-pop stan Twitter account. Yes, I am a fan of Twice. I am a Once. And I made the account for Twice. Well, I changed the account into a Twice account because if we're going to be real, my account on Twitter wasn't always a Twice account. Let me just say that. I'm not going to get into whose account it was because if you knew me in high school, then you know who it was. If you knew me in high school, you knew. But if you do not know, then I guess you just do not know. But that's not the point. The point is, I had to take a break from Twitter because this doesn't really have to do with Stan Twitter necessarily. So obviously, it's not obvious. I mean, if you may or may not have heard that Ariana announced her engagement a few days ago. And of course, me being an Ariana fan, I mean, I could even go as far as calling myself a stan. I could go that far. I don't have a stan account for her, but, I do interact with, by interacting with their tweets, I like and retweet them, but let me, that's not the point. The point is, I was very happy to hear about her engagement because I'm just glad that she's happy, I understand that I don't know her and in no way, shape, or form I try and act like I do know her, but, of course I'm happy for her. Like, she's one of my favorite artists. We've went over this in the last podcast. Y'all know how much I love Ariana. Y'all know that. And I'm going to be happy for her because this is a big deal and this is, a really big thing in her life and I'm really happy for her. And I wish her all the best. And of course, within the same, 5-minute span of me going on Twitter, just being on Twitter, I see people commenting on her engagement. And even one of my mutuals, if you don't know, a mutual is a person, you guys both follow each other. You both follow each other and interact with each other's tweets to a certain extent, or interact just in general. Mutuals can be on any social media app, Same thing as acquaintances for the web. And one of my mutuals was like, I bet the engagement only lasts a few months. I saw that and I was like, here this person goes, talking outside their neck again. And it's, you know what? Honestly, this person I'm talking about, this is not the first time they've done this. This is not the first time they've shared an opinion that honestly I'm not quite fond of at all. Honestly, I'm not. And then I saw another tweet. I think it was one of my other mutuals that liked it. Maybe it was the same one. I'm not sure. It was somebody was tweeting, they're like, Ariana got engaged twice before Normani's album came out. And then it was a gif of somebody. You could have made a comment about Normani not making music without dragging Ariana in it. You understand what I'm saying? I just feel like it's just a lot of unnecessary hate. I understand, especially your account is where you can say whatever you want. And I guess, my mutual felt like they were inclined to say that. And they comment on everything as they feel they're inclined to. So I can't imagine what they say in real life. But I don't know them in real life, so I guess that's good for me. Ooh, tea. Um, but yeah, like I had to step back. Like it's that along with other things, just like the constant comparison between groups and just like beef between fandoms unnecessarily. It's Twitter, you know? It's Twitter. And more specifically, like it's K-pop, you know? Like it is a music genre. It is of course a lot of people are into it now, especially in the West, but in the West, okay girl, talk about geography, come on, in the US. But to me it's like I was getting to that point where I was like, okay, I might need to take a break from Twitter. And honestly, the hate comments, the hate tweets about Ariana, it was like, okay. And I guess, I mean, maybe you wouldn't go as far to say hate. I don't know. I feel like hate is a very strong word because it is. But it's just like the negativity. I saw that and I was like, okay. Like when somebody literally, and it just reinforced the idea in my mind that you could be so happy with what you're doing, how you are in your life. And, you know, you're happy and you want to share it on your social media because that's your business. And as soon as you do, of course, there'll be people who are so happy for you and just, you know, they celebrate you. But other people will just be inclined to say something negative just for no reason, you know? And it's sad, but that's the world we live in and that's how people are. So as soon as I saw that, that's what really like, that was like, okay, you're done. You're done. Because Ariana's happy. She's happy. And yet people they just can't seem to let that be. So I say that to say, please be kind to not only yourself, but other people. You don't know what people are going through. And, you know, just be happy for people. And look, if you can't be happy for someone, just take a step back. Like, just think about it. You know the old saying, like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Maybe just stop saying stuff. Maybe just stop talking. The point of the podcast today is maybe just stop talking. No, I'm kidding. But like, seriously, like if you feel the need to say something negative before you can think of something positive, maybe just don't comment it, you know? It's unnecessary. The world is already crazy enough. We don't need to add to it by being rude and, you know, trying to downplay people's happiness. So, you know, just don't take that away from people. And yeah, if you find yourself, you know, kind of getting fed up with any of your social media platforms, more specifically Twitter, like me, yeah, just take a step back, you know? And, you know, because Twitter's where I go for my news. More so my news with Twice, but, you know, also events. So, yeah. I didn't go on Twitter at all today, and I'm fine, you know? I actually feel great. So, yeah, because usually I go on Twitter first thing in the morning, and that's not the best. So, yeah, I'm enjoying my little break. It's only been one day, but, you know, I'm enjoying it. It's good, you know, living life, you know? So, yeah, just remember, be kind to not only yourself, but other people, and try not to contribute to the negativity in the world in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, that has been the podcast today. I hope you enjoyed this mini rant of all my true feelings about Twitter and how people can really say whatever. Of course, I do like Twitter for how, like, you know, the funny tweets, like, because, you know, Twitter is a great place for funny tweets. It really is. But then sometimes it's too much. I hope everyone is having a fantastic week. It's almost Christmas. So if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you celebrate Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah. If you celebrate Kwanzaa, Happy Kwanzaa. And remember, fun fact, it's not really remember, it's more like a fun fact. Kwanzaa is, it's 7 days, right? Yeah. The 5th principle of Kwanzaa is Nia. So on the 5th day of Kwanzaa, think about it and say, what's my purpose today? Because Nia in Swahili means purpose. So yes, y'all. There's a little fun fact for you. I knew that since I was in kindergarten. I just thought that would be fun to share. So yeah, I hope you all are having a fantastic week. And if you're not, I hope your week gets better. Remember, this will pass, and you are stronger than you think. This has been Neela Ray Bradley, your host of the Nobody Asked podcast, where today I just kind of let it all out. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks for listening.